I'm Marcy Seghetti, sales manager, and I've got Katie Wright, my marketing manager, on the line. She was the one who set this all up for me, which was wonderful. We're going to talk a little bit about how FinishLine can help you. It can be used on most mobile devices. Oops, that reminds me. Preloaded, customized. Now, I'm going to show it to you on my iPad. A little bit of difference there than a phone is that your phone has got a much smaller viewing area. And so it shows up a little bit different, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same. We're going to go ahead and sign on. Like I said, I'm on my iPad, so this will be as if you're using it out in the field, not connected to Wi-Fi. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I'm going to sign in as one of the general construction team members, and I have permissions. So some of the stuff I might show you, because it's permissions based, you may not want your users to see, like being able to trash an item or create an item, not create an item, but do different things. Now, because I haven't been on yet this morning, it's going to ask me to sync, which means everything that's residing on my iPad is going to get sent up to the main server, and anybody else's information or data that they sent up will come down and be residing on yours. So that usually doesn't take very long. Get into the apps. So what you're going to see right off the bat is this upper portion here is what we refer to as a plan view. The lower portion is our list view. And as I said, on your phones or smaller devices, you'll see this on one screen and the list view on another. How you navigate throughout our solution is by this little navigation tree up here in the left-hand corner. And if you touch it, it'll toggle out. If you see an arrow here, it means you can go to the top of your list. So now I'm at the top level. You can see all my different projects that I have loaded. And for this demo, I'm actually going to use the condo example. All the information that you see sitting here is for that complete condo. Anywhere you see these little gray arrows means you can drill down. So this is only one way for me to access information. I'm going to drill down. Now it has broken that information down into the separate areas. I'm going to drill down again, and you can now see that we have individual units, and I'm going to drill down one more time. So as that unit comes up, condo, floor 2, room 205, you can see that there's already been activity, and to see who has been in doing that activity, you can touch this little arrow to the right here. You've got a ribbon that'll pop out. Touch on legend, and you can see, oh, it's someone from the general contractors team, the owner's team, and the architect. And we call these initiating parties because they're able to initiate tasks or punch lists. And you can have as many of these as you like. Okay? So let's just get started really quick, and I'll show you just how easy it is. So with my fingers, I'm going to touch and move this around. I'm going to enlarge it a bit. I need to see it a little better. As we're walking in, I notice the door is sticking. So I'm going to touch and hold and release. And we have you touch and hold because we don't want you out in the field and accidentally touch something and create a punch inadvertently. So we do that on purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my upper, touch the upper box here. We call that our super grid. It's going to send you over to a form that gives you 3 choices. What type of inspection are you doing? I'm doing an interior inspection. So when I touch the interior inspection, it drives the task that's going to come up. I'm going to hit doors, frames, and hardware. We said it was hard to open and close. That's how quick it is. Save your punches. Again, all of that information, you can either use default information or customize it to the way you do things. We're walking through, we see a tile. There's a gap between the tile and the carpet. So let's go find tile.
Hey, Marcy, sorry, just to interrupt really quickly. Can we have everyone just mute themselves, please? I think that there's some background echo.
Okay, that's better.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Sure.
Okay, so gap or avoid, select it. And again, we're going to save it. So I've just created 2 punches. It took me maybe less than 5 seconds per punch. So it's mainly as your people get to know your selections, which, maybe 20 minutes on a job at the most, and they'll be comfortable using it. So I'm going to slow down a little bit and show you on the 3rd one a little bit more about what I'm doing. We go in the kitchen, we see the stove has a broken knob. So we're going to go ahead and select our grid. It's an interior, it's an appliance, and you can see there's no broken knob here, but we always have a user define. So we're going to go user define, and I'm going to say broken knob, and I can type it. Or if I am out in the field and I want to use my audio, if I'm connected, please replace. So a little bit of a quick step. Again, our whole process is built for speed and efficiency to help complete your project. So now that I've selected interior, appliance, and user defined, the user defined doesn't allow for a specific action to be chosen. So you have to go in and hit replace. We're going to leave it as a normal priority. And again, all of these arrows show that I can drill down and change it. Where indicated, it's in the kitchen, and QT Electric is who we assigned prior. And we now have a due date of 4/21, and this is a default date of either 5 to 7 days. But if it falls on a weekend or a holiday, or you want to give them a few extra days, go ahead and select the extra day, confirm. And from this point forward, you don't have to make that same change. It'll stay on 4/23 until you sign off and sign back in, or until you manually change it again. So before I save these changes, I want to show you what this little icon down here does. You've got 4 activities that we can do. Camera, there's my nifty little stove. We're going to take and say it's a good picture. Use your camera, save the photo. And when it comes up, it's going to give you a couple of options. I'm in the pencil. You have other shapes you can pick. You have different colors you can choose from. And then you have a different thickness. And I'm just going to say, you know what? It's this one right here. I'm just using my finger. It's that knob. So when your sub or whoever you have go in to fix it, it's very clear what the issue is and where it's at. You may be working in a restaurant that has a couple different stoves. So in that case, you would want to use the annotation. And again, it's going to be this stove. So again, one more clear picture for the person that's going to be fixing it. Now there's 2 more items on that icon. One is a file. So if you're on the server or on a tablet where you can access documents or PDF files, then you're able to pull maybe a warranty or some sort of document up. The only thing, because I'm on my iPad, the only thing I can access is my photo database. So if I have taken previous pictures, I can create the task, pull the photo that I want to match it to, and that's where I would do it. The other option we have on here is a signature. So if you're working with a homeowner and you're doing a walkthrough or even a tenant walkthrough, you can have them sign on that everything is perfect. You can type their name up here. You can type what they're signing and approving, and you want to save those changes. So now you have 3 attachments to this one task. We're going to go ahead and save those changes. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward. Remember, you're on mute too, so if you go to talk and I don't hear you, that's going to be why. So
yeah,
let's just show.
There.
Oh, go ahead.
I had noted in the chat column over there. Can once you create a user defined, can you add that as boilerplate from that screen, or do you have to add that as boilerplate somewhere else?
You can send us a quick note and say, please add boilerplate as a task or an action, and we'll do it for you right away. Or you're able to, we can show you admin and you're able to add it if you want. Otherwise, if you're doing it in the field and you haven't physically added it yet, you would just have to continually type it in. Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, so I guess I can't add it from while I'm in the field making the inspection, but then when I got back to the office, I could go and add it to my boilerplate there, correct?
Yeah, if you want to just sign off and sign on to the server while you're in the field, if you have Wi-Fi access, you could do it while you're in the field. But if you don't have that access, yes, you'd have to wait until you get back to the office.
Okay.
All right. So again, we can use our fingers to shrink it down, and you'll notice as I'm touching, we do space defining when it comes to our multifamily if it's requested. You'll see later on a couple different ways that we can set your project up, but different spaces will tell you front entry, and this is where the space falls, okay? And if you want to shrink back down without using your fingers, you can hit the tab, the ribbon will come out, and you can just go back to full display, okay? So again, these are punches that are sitting on an XY axis, so it's collecting data. If you switch the plan out and put a new one in and say you've eliminated this wall right here, very easy for us to do that for you. If it was this wall that was being eliminated, all you'd have to do is go in and delete those two items. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, again, what you're looking at here. The items we just created are in an open status. Those are created by, you know, your inspectors or a homeowner, etc. That if you have a sub that's going to be coming in and fixing those items, when the sub signs in, say it's Good Coat Painting, he is only going to see his items. He will not see anybody else's. So if he's savvy enough and you give him permissions, he can sign in. He'll see this same exact view. When he pulls up his items, okay, he'll pull it up. He'll see your comments. He'll have a space where he can make comments. He can also take pictures and attach them, showing that he's done it. And then he can just hit the little check mark down here saying approve. Now, because I'm an admin and I have approval to close an item out, you'll see that item totally disappeared. What normally would happen is it would go from open to pending file on your sheet when your sub approves it. On his view, it's going to completely disappear. So at a glance, you can see, oh, today I have 2 items that are pending file. I'm out on the job site. I see that he's done it. I'm going to go ahead and approve that it's done correctly, and that item now disappears. Now, if you have an item that you check and you say, you know what, you really need to do this over, it's not done quite well enough, you can add a comment, you can take another picture, and you use this X to throw it back into his view and on his list. So now it goes from a pending back to an open. If you have accidentally closed an item out, you can reopen it. Right now, this is our funnel, and it's a filter. So if you touch the filter and you go to status, you'll see that the default is open. And we want to change it to all status because we want to see those closed items as well. So there, I believe, is the drip run that I just completed. We're going to go in and we're going to open it back up by touching the X at the bottom. So that item, number 51, is now showing open. Okay? Now again, because I've made a change, it's in blue. So if you ever come in and start making punches, you can see that a change has been made. So let's go back to reset. And I've told you a little bit about what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and save everything that we've been doing with this icon up here and upload it to the server. And I'm going to pull over the reporting section and talk about the reporting a little bit. Does anybody have any questions while I do that? Or before I do that? Okay, so let's move this out of the way here. and bring in. So again, I'm signing on as part of the general construction team. And as it's logging in, you'll notice up here that it says demo.a3db.net. So we give each one of our clients their individual own URL that you can see is safe, a safe site. So again, permissions based. And as this comes up, I'll start pointing out a few of the items that you're going to be looking at. Down below here, you're going to see graphs and pie charts that come up. We call these widgets, and it's a quick glance just to see what's going on with your project. You can customize these however you like, or we can customize them and help you with them. Come on, scroll down a little bit to show you. So you can see the top 5 status counts. Come on. All right, it's a little bit, I hope there it goes. Oops. Okay, so total items by sub. You can see top 5 tasks. So it's just an at a glance what's going on with your project, okay? If you wanted to access, like I said, you're out in the field, you are hooked to Wi-Fi, and you wanted to access and create punches, this is the tab that you would push, and it's going to look exactly like what I was showing you on my iPad with a few differences because you don't have a touch screen. We assume most people don't have a touch screen. The report section is where I wanted to really focus on and show you just how simple and easy it is. We're going to create a report. It's going to open up into a screen that shows you on the left-hand side that we do have the option to filter it how we like or choose what type of layout you want to see. So again, I said it could be very granular and you can use the data in many different ways. But the simple part of it is just select the condo that you were in. You were in floor 2. You want to see 204 and 205, and you create your report. Now what's going to come up is just a visual view of the report. You want to produce or email that report. Instead of doing a single report, we're going to show a breakdown report for each sub. Again, all of these are preloaded in there. All of your subs come up. We're going to generate that report. As it's generating, you'll notice that there's a report again for each sub, and there's one report that will say complete on it. That report goes to the person requesting the report. So you'll see here that it says FinishLine complete because I'm the one requesting it. So let's go ahead and go into QT Electric because they're the ones who had the stove and show you what it looks like. Now, if a subcontractor has permissions to sign on and view it, hold on one second. Sorry about that. This is what they're going to see. They can pull it up and view it, or you can print it out and hand it to them. It's a condo, floor 2, room 204, QT Electric. It shows the plan view. He has nothing in 204 other than one item. So it looks like, because we have the capability of adding an item to the list without showing it on the plan view, somebody added this to the list prior. As we scroll down, you're going to see the room 205 that I was in. There's the task that I created on the stove for the broken knob. And if you scroll down some more, you can see the attachments that I had along with it. It'll tell you it's an interior. Come on. Interior, you need to replace it, the due date. This is where he can initial paperwork if you've given him paperwork and hand it back to you. And then your inspector can go in and close them out. Let me show you the complete. So again, room 204, now because you see everything, you'll see that there's painting items on here as well as a checklist. So as you go through, it'll tell you again, the same information. Any questions about our report? Now again, for the sake of time, I'm just pointing out some cool features. I didn't know how many questions there would be. I want to go back and just point out a couple more, if that's okay with everybody. Are you good still?
Yeah, Marcy, I would just say maybe we can show the email tracking so that folks can see when subcontractors open reports.
Oh, that's a good idea. And what I was going to go back and show you some of the quick features that we've got, like drag and drop and stuff like that. So let me get back over there real quick. Go back over. So let's go back to the dashboard. And under reports, you'll see when I select it, you'll see that we have reports from templates, saved reports. So we have quite a few options. Email tracking report. So if somebody says they did not get the report, you can say, oh, I think you did. What this does is it tracks every email that goes out and then a full history on when it went out and if they opened it. And you're going to see these bounced only because they're fake emails. But it's definitely a good thing to have. So our software really is about accountability and being able to see open items when they're closed and just closing your project out. The other thing, what did you mention again, Katie? What else? Oh, I know what I was going to show you. So if you're signed in as a user and you've got this little question mark here, you can select it. It's going to bring you over to our user resource page. And you have the ability to take a look at either videos or documents that will help you out. You also have a little pop-up on our website that comes up and says, hey, you want to chat? So let's take a look here. Anyway, you get the idea. We've got a pop-up chat. And then also Tom, our support manager, he is really, really good. He gives you his direct line. You can call him or you can email support@punchlist.net. As we sign back in and get into the project again. So as the plan view comes up, we'll want to touch on this arrow. When I showed you the examples earlier, I was working in a manual mode. So again, we build this for efficiency and speed. You want to change it to copy by dragging. If you're going through and doing nothing but painting and you're going room to room, floor to floor, you'll want to do copy by dragging. If we're in this apartment and we're doing nothing but a paint issue, create your issue. Let's go to painting. And it's a flaw that needs to be fixed. Save those changes. So that item 23, you no longer have to create a new one each time. You just drag and drop it to where the issue is. Oops. Okay. Now, if you've gone out of this unit and you're going into another unit, you'll want to go from copy mode to add a favorite. And since I already have a favorite sitting in here, we're just going to touch on that. And now all you have to do is touch and hold, and it creates your issue. That easy, that quick, that simple. Okay. Katie, I know there's more to this, but you know, those are the basics. Can you think of anything else?
Maybe just change logs so that folks can see,
Yep.
you know, whether or not people are making updates to items.
Yep, good idea. So I'm going to show you by using our recently accessed plan. I'm going to go back over to, actually what I'm going to do, because I want to go back into floor 2, and I'd already signed out and signed back in. So I'm going to go back into room 205, and I'm going to select an item that shows, oh, did I close them all out? Let's go back up here. I want to select a floor that has a pending final in it, like this one here. So I can select that and pull it open. And up here we have a log that's going to show you the actions that were done to it. So it went from incomplete to complete when the sub closed it out, or when the sub finished it and then we approved it. Okay, so let's just hit complete on that and it'll close it out. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you too. We have QR capabilities. So now I can show you this. Let's go back into room 205 that I was in, and we're going to create a punch. And throughout, oh, see what I did? You always have to remember to go back in and change the mode you're in back to manual when you want to create something new. And so we're going to create a new punch, but I want to show you. This is what we call the QR code. And what it does is it enables you to, once we have your project loaded, you can print out all the QR codes. And if you're working on a high rise, or even if it's a mid rise, you take each QR code, laminate it, or cut them out, laminate it, and then post it on the door of each unit. And then as your sub walks up to the unit, he can scan it with his phone and it will jump them straight to the plan that they need to be at. Okay? Any questions? If you guys think of anything, send me a quick email or email me when we're done. If you want to see more and get a little bit more in-depth or more thorough, please sign up for a demo, a one-on-one demo. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. But I think if that's, if nobody has any questions, we'll go ahead and close this out. Katie, anything you want to say before I do that?
Sure, yeah, just a reminder, we will be sending out this recording, so you can feel free to share it with your team, and also be sending out a quick survey. If you would fill that out, it'd be great to have your input. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.